I'm Hovey Smith, the backyard sportsman. I'm basically known as an outdoor writer, and I've written a series of outdoor and business books, and among these are most recently my business book, Create Your Own Job Security, and I have a sequel to this in the works. I've also done practical bow fishing as well as backyard deer hunting and extreme muzzleloading, as well as some 15 others, which are published as both softcover and ebooks. More recently, I have been working on a novel, and that novel is Father of the Grooms. And in fact, this novel is published as an ebook, and you can buy it on Amazon any day. It's full of errors, just like any first draft novel, and if you want to look at a first draft novel, okay, here is one. In order to do the novel, I actually took a trip to Sicily to get some locations, find out a little bit about the culture, and decide how I wanted to place the novel. I'd already decided on the general line of the plot. His sons are temporarily home, his brother and his daughter can get away, and so they're going to fly over to Sicily. Well, all have individual complications, which are developed in the novel and screenplay. At any rate, they arrive in Sicily. Unexpectedly, they find that they are related to one of the most powerful mafia families in Italy, and that their two sons, who are now unattached, are going to be married to two women in Sicily on Friday, and they arrive on Monday. Ugh. And if they don't accept the wedding, none of them will leave the island alive. Well, that is a little strange, but the guys for various reasons are willing, the gals for their own reasons are willing, and things proceed. However, the mafia family in Naples doesn't think much of the idea and decides it's going to try to stop the wedding at any cost, including killing one or more of the participants as they can get to them. And they try. And they try. And they try again. Nonetheless, the wedding goes on. Well, several things happen as they tour around the island and see the wonderful sights and so on and so on. After the wedding, it's doubtful if the bride and groom will ever enjoy a wedding night, as they are still being hotly pursued by this mafia family from Naples. But they manage to escape, and in the end, through the operations of such organizations as the AIA, the Italian Anti-Mafia Association, our own FBI here in the U.S., the U.S. Armed Forces, and the Lockheed Hercules, they managed by the skin of their teeth to get out of Sicily and live. And that's basically the novel. All right. Well, that's a good plot. It's reasonable. And I have sent it to several screenwriting contests, notably the Wiki Screenwriters Contest and Script Pipeline. And they have sent me suggestions for improvements. As a first-time screenplay writer, well, those are very valuable. And I incorporated them in the present screenplay, which is right here. Well, I wanted another view. So I sent it to a screenwriting contest sort of strangely called Save the Cat Screenwriting Challenge. Well, they promised 50 review points. Okay. Previously, my play had been evaluated on some 10 different points, but these people are going to do 50. Well, all right. I'll take a chance on them. So I sent the screenplay into the Save the Cat Challenge. Well, and they in due time reported back, and that's what I'm going to tell you about. As it turns out, I learned more about Save the Cat Challenge. The Save the Cat Screenwriting Contest Challenge is based on a program that they offer. And I would assume a book which contains all of the 50 points that they examined in the screenplay. So, if you want a chance at actually winning this contest, then you need to take that course, get their book, write your screenplay accordingly, and then they can check off all the boxes. Yes, you did this. Well, I didn't do that. So I went in blind, and we hit on some things and we missed on others. What we found out was, according to their categories, I had 19 of the 50 points that they said worked, which means that, yeah, you know, this looks good. You could actually film it, and you can actually make a movie off this point. Then I had 26 points that were almost there, which means, according to their 4-point scale, is not absolutely wretched, but still needs a little tweaking around the edges to move it over into the it works category. Then there's the lowest category, which is keep at it, meaning you ain't there yet, fella. Ain't even close. So, I had 5 of those. So basically, the majority of my materials, 45 out of the 50, were in the, okay, it needs more work, or it's already there. There is another category that I did not reach at all, which is a raises the bar category, where you actually produce something altogether new in the screenwriting industry that has not been seen before. Of course, this is a rarity, and I did not succeed in doing any of that. But we moved the play from where I started submitting it to screenwriting contests, from absolutely awful to nearly mediocre. All right, well, that's progress. It's not as much progress as I would like to have made, but that's progress, and we're getting there. Okay, so what to do now? Well, we have again taken some of these things under consideration. Now, of the 5 points which were keep at it, that is the worst category, these had to do with theme, which is a nebulous concept which goes like, okay, what is the theme of the movie? What are you trying to teach the audience, or you want the audience to get out of the movie? And how is this reflected on the characters, and how does this help develop the characters and the plot? Okay, well, what the theme is expressed best and most briefly in the cut line. An American family of Sicilian origin discovers that blood ties are more powerful than money, danger, love, or life itself when they arrive on Monday in Sicily and find that their 2 sons are to be married on Friday. None will leave the island alive. So that's the thing. Blood ties are significant. Well, we examine this theme in several different ways. We have strong blood ties in the antagonist. In the first version of the screenplay, I didn't have a specified antagonist as a person. I had it as a rather nebulous organization that was introduced in the very last of the play and was revealed to have done its thing and all of this evil stuff that had happened before. Well, now we bring them right up front. First act. Bang! There they are. Doing terrible stuff. Just terrible. And they're not very good guys. and they express evil towards the family in Sicily. Well, they arranged that information be provided to the Italian government so that the principals of the Sicilian family are to be arrested. And then they can move more easily into Sicily. And that's the general plot. Well, as it turns out, it works. The head and the segundo of the Sicilian family are arrested. And the old enforcer who is retired and living in Sicily and doing some little painting is called in to run the family again, along with Dona Carlos, who is the wife of the primary Don of the Sicilian family. Well, Luigi the Claw, the enforcer, lost a hand during World War II, hence the name. And he has a rather wicked dagger that he is known for. And in fact, here it is. He uses it as a weapon of intimidation and has taken life with it on several occasions in the past. He learned to paint and learned his English when he was working for American archaeologists undergoing excavations in Italy after World War II. When the ruins were being cleaned up off these major old Italian and Sicilian cities, archaeologists went in to salvage what they could. They could now see ruins that they could never see before because existing structures were on top of them. So this was a prime time to do salvage archaeology, and they went at it with a passion, which was good because Italy's historic museums had been looted and destroyed. The Germans had tried to steal a lot of stuff from cultural stuff from Italy. And, yeah. So he couldn't excavate very well with only one hand, so he was taught to draw and taught to draw well, except he didn't draw faces well. As it turns out, one of the two sons, Roger, is a portrait painter, or tries to be, but has not been successful at it. He was run out of San Francisco by his girlfriend, who, because he never could raise enough money to pay the rent, and he sees himself a bloody failure, and he goes home to finish his mother's portrait, which he never has finished, and this opportunity gets for them to all go to Sicily, and he's all for it, and he convinces his brother, who is reluctant, who is suffering tremendous stress from just getting out of combat. I mean just like 40 hours before, and so they all agree, carrying these mental burdens, to go to Sicily. In the meantime, the gals have had their own trauma. A boy they have loved and known since high school has been brutally slaughtered in a mafia vendetta killing whose roots go back 200 years over the taking of a goat. And they are absolutely devastated, and particularly Cecilia, who was engaged to be married to this fellow. And now she's supposed to marry this guy she's never seen 4 days later. Well, in the meantime, they've been shot at and all of this kind of good stuff. Well, things progress. How does all this fit in the Save the Cat screenwriting contest precepts? As it turns out, not particularly well. The kind of movie that does fit is Kevin Costner's Robin Hood. In fact, you could take this movie and derive all the points raised in the Save the Cat evaluation. Indeed you could. I'll not go through all of this, but it would take forever. But believe me, it does. It has all the elements. So now, I've gone through the screenplay yet one more time. We've changed the name again. This is its third iteration of names. Each of them are better, I believe. And we have moved things around in the screenplay. So we have some action out front. There are many points that we could not reach because, again, we start off with 4 main characters instead of only 1. In Robin Hood, it's pretty simple. We've got one guy and we follow him through. There's also talk of the Screenplay Challenge of a B story. Okay, I've got a B story. That's two guys from the AIA who are masquerading as limousine drivers, supposedly working for their cousin, and they're driving the mafia family around, but also spying on them for the AIA, and actually arranging for the arrest of the primary and his segundo. They participate in this, but in the background. They never break cover, and so they are actually driving the whole family around Sicily as they make their trip and to the wedding and ultimately their escape. So this is the B story. The Screenplay Challenge makes a point of do the characters in the B story impart something of significance to the main characters? Well, yes they do. They get them out of the country, for one thing, but they don't have a teachable moment to give something in modern parlance. They serve a function in the plot. Okay, so where are we with how things proceed from here? I've reached the point of my writing the screenplay where most of the real problems have to do with dialogue. I need to make my dialogue sound more diverse, sound more individualistic. I need my mafia guys to sound like mafia guys when they speak. And a good point raised in the criticism was that you should be able to read the lines of a particular character and identifying the character without ever seeing the names. Well, that is not possible yet. Still working on that. It's significant, it's important, and I'm still working on it. I think I have solved the theme problem. All right? Now, so far as the end of the movie itself. The end of the movie is left hanging to invite a sequel. I haven't written the sequel yet. Let me finish one before I start another. And I don't know if I ever will. But it leaves a possibility of a sequel, which is a selling point in a movie. Okay, is there a possible significant follow-up that could be done? No, yes, there is. Could this even be maybe the start of a TV series? Yes, maybe it could. Not written by me, but by someone else. And could we do it? Well, not right now. Very few movies are being shot on the West Coast right now, and as I speak, the screenplay organizations want to stop all production on everything till this coronavirus is brought under control. So we're still some years away from actually producing the movie. I've made some props, like this rather formidable looking flintlock here, which one of my characters, Frank, takes on an exciting boar hunt in Sicily to prove his manhood. And he takes a nice hog with it, by the way. And I've hunted with it, and yeah, I'm taking game with it as well. And you can see this on video, by the way. So, we are progressing along. With my other books, my business book is now being recast under a new title, and it's going to be sold as an audio book and is in production again as we speak. And the new title will be Make Your Own Job Anytime, Anywhere, at Any Age. And this will be available hopefully by the end of January. We're getting very, very close indeed to having it out. So far as the novel is concerned, I have rewritten the novel using the information derived from the evaluations of the screenplay. They brought in some interesting points, and some of these were incorporated into the novel. Not necessarily every little wrinkle, but many were. So that improves the novel. Again, because of problems with the coronavirus, it will also probably first appear as an audiobook, and are arranging now to have that done. Sometimes early in 2021, we'll have the audiobook of this released with the softcover to follow. We are progressing, we are getting along, we are making progress. We are not there yet, but we're working on it. For now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.